Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Building Wealth with Real Estate. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about how to find a good deal in this market and just different ways to do that. The one main way I'm going to focus on today is just to go on the internet, go on the MLS, go on CoStar, LoopNet, whatever it might be. And there's certain things you're going to be looking for. So, a lot of times people are reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, I'm having a hard time finding good deals in this market. How do I find good deals?" And usually people stop, right? They stop even looking. They just start networking with people and say, bring me a deal, bring me a deal. And, I had this happen recently with someone who raised a lot of money. And they said, we're looking for this kind of deal. We're looking for these numbers. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've found these constantly out on the market. And I've realized, the problem is a lot of times people want these off-market deals because they think that they're just going to get the absolute best price, but really they're looking at it as they're getting the cheapest they possibly can. Now, as great as that is, because it just gives you a lot more equity initially into a deal, there's still a lot of really good opportunities out there. Now, there's a few things I look for. I look for listings that have bad marketing, that people don't know what they have, and they don't really advertise it well. So bad pictures, as in they took pictures with their cell phone, or they didn't put a big listing description, or they didn't put any of the numbers and broke it down into, advertisable investor language. That way people can look at it and they don't have to spend all of this time analyzing, is this a good deal or not? I was looking at a duplex in Sacramento that's being listed right now, so it's fully renovated. I just did the math, and even if I offer 200,000 less, or it's not renovated, it needs to be renovated. Even if I offer 200,000 less, it still just did not make sense. And so I have found this other deal to be really good. But it's interesting because I don't think people realize the opportunity they may have. And that's either the agent's fault or it's the seller's fault. So this deal that I found, it's 7601 through 7607 San Simeon Drive in Citrus Heights. So marketing seems great, right? It's a decent listing description. The pictures are not that bad. Honestly, good pictures of the property. It looks like I was taken with a professional photographer, so that's always nice to see. Um, you know, One of the things I like to look at in the pictures, of course, is what's the upside potential. So, of course, I look at the area. What's the crime rate look like? What's the job market look like? Can I increase the rents at a rate that helps me increase the value? Or am I pretty much capped out because the area median income does not increase for whatever reason? Because maybe the job market's low in that area. But this area is good. So without diving into too much detail on that, let's just say it is good. I can increase the rents by 3% every year. There's also some room for some renovations and improvements, which is always nice to see. Some of the bathrooms look somewhat renovated. At least a nice vanity. But what I like to do is I like to come down to some of this stuff. So first, I like to look at where else is this being advertised. If it's not on LoopNet, which is a big investor platform, investors go to look at these opportunities, especially for a quadplex. If it was a duplex, I get it. Putting on the MLS and letting it go to Zillow is a good idea. But a quadplex is nice because that's a big investment opportunity. And so I would definitely be advertising on LoopNet. It's not super cheap. Then again, this came on the market May 9th. So, if they're negotiating offers, maybe they don't need to, but there's not a lot of gross scheduled income, net operating income, insurance expenses, other expenses, cap rate that is being sold at. You can calculate a lot of this stuff yourself, but the less information you provide up front, the harder it is for an investor to make a decision. And I think this is a good opportunity because when I look at the rents and I add them up, this is actually being sold at a little over a 9% cap rate, which means as long as the net operating income isn't crazy, you can probably just use the income that this property is producing in order to qualify to purchase this property. So a debt service coverage ratio loan. Usually you need 20% down. Every once in a while, I'll find a lender who will allow 15% down, but there's a lot of other variables that play a factor into that. But let's just say 20% down. You can just qualify off the income that this property is producing. I did the calculation. I always like to look at with every deal And for those of you who know me, it's still, what is the upside potential? I'm not just buying this. In my opinion, I'm not just buying this just to bring in the money, as great as that is, buy and hold method. I still want to see some type of an upside potential. But that's me because I look for a little bit more active opportunities rather than just passive. But you have a 3-bed, 2-bath, 909 square feet being rented out for $1,700 a month. And if you scroll all the way down, you have a 2-bed, 1-bath, 909 square feet being rented out for $1,800 a month. Another 2-bed, 1-bath being rented out for $1,100 a month. And then you have another 2-bed, 1-bath being rented out for $1,600 a month. Now, those are huge differences. So in my mind, I want to figure out why is there such a big discrepancy? Usually it has to do with the quality. Sometimes it has to do with they didn't increase rents, whatever it might be. It shows me that there's probably a lot of opportunity to get that $1,100 a month up to the $1,800 a month. And same thing with that 16 and 17. What can I do to come in to improve that? Or is the $1,800 a month just because it's already renovated, which means maybe there's not a lot of upside potential? So those are just some of the things that I like to look at. But like I said, if I do the math, this is priced really well at $825,000. Because I can do a debt service coverage ratio loan and buy this property without having to prove any of my own income. So it's a good listing by Tim Swanston with North Coast Commercial Incorporated. But yeah, great listing. I think great price. Sure, there could have been a little bit more details provided. Maybe that's why it hasn't sold as fast as I thought it would have sold. But still, great listing, good effort, and I think this is a great opportunity. So hopefully that's helpful. If any of you watching this are ever looking for a specific type of deal, maybe you've put together a real estate fund, or you are just trying to buy a property as an independent investor, please feel free to reach out, ask us some questions. We're happy to really evaluate a lot of deals and help you. So we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.